Click the link in the description for your free Amsoil catalog. Before we get started, I'd like to give a quick shout out to some of our friends. The Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. Search for them on Facebook. Central Minnesota Pond Racing. Search for them on Facebook. The historic Lancaster Motel for the ultimate Eastern trail riding adventure. Crane's Snowmobile Museum at 172 Main Street in Lancaster, New Hampshire. The Vintage Snowmobile Club of America Quarterly Magazine. The New Hampshire Snowmobile Museum at Bear Brook State Park in Allenstown, New Hampshire. And lastly, if you decide to advertise with the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast, this could be your advertising message. Good evening and welcome to the podcast. I'm really glad you're here. I have a robust lineup of vintage snowmobile entertainment on tap for you tonight. But before we get into all of that, I want to make sure that everything is working properly. So if you can see my face and hear my voice, I'm going to ask you to leave a comment. Please let me know where you're viewing this from and whether you are a first-time viewer or a regular viewer. Now, to our first-time viewers, if this is your first time viewing the podcast tonight, I hope you have a good time with us, and I hope you decide to join us here each and every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this podcast simulcasts to 8 different places, pardon me, across Facebook and YouTube. So wherever you're viewing this right now, just circle back in 1 week's time, and we'll be waiting for you with another fun-filled episode. To our regular viewers who are here week after week, month after month, and season after season, you are the ones who make this possible, and we really, really appreciate that. Comments aplenty coming in. Let's take a few, and then we'll bring our friends on and get the party started. Here we go. Our good friend Bruce Swerka says, good evening, Mike. He was on with us last week as our guest. We had a great time with him. Let's see. Rich Shad is here saying, good evening, everyone, from Cleveland, New York. Snowing like crazy at the moment. Had rain this morning. Wow. One extreme to the other. Mike Whiteside says, good evening, fellow vintage sled lovers. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Ben from Vintage Mini Bike Lovers says, good evening, everyone. Coming in loud and clear on a very snowy Carterville, New York evening. We have excess snow available for export. Call now. Operators are standing by. Excellent. Well, you heard it here on the Vintage Snowmobile Podcast. Now, Ben is our good friend. We collaborate with him on the Vintage Mini Bike Lovers Podcast. If you like those mini bikes from the 60s and 70s, you do not want to miss that. We do it the second Sunday of every month at 8 p.m. right here where you're viewing this. So if you like those old mini bikes, you do not want to miss that. Stacy and Art Fosler are here. Regular viewers from Plattekill, New York. Nice to see you. Good friend Jeff Wesner is here. Says, sounding great. It's time for vintage. Alan Gove says, good evening. Nice to see you. Mad Dog is here. Randy from Wisconsin. Good evening to everyone. Loud and clear. Nice to see you. Jim Holbrook, our good friend from Thetford Center, Vermont, is here. Regular viewer. Loud and clear. Old Skidoo 2. Good evening from Tupper Lake, New York. Regular viewer. Great to see you. Our good friend John Spranger Jr. is here. Good evening from Elon, Wisconsin. Finally have open snowmobile trails. Outstanding. Our good friend Eric from the Bennett Deem YouTube channel. That's one of the places this podcast simulcasts out to. He says, good evening from Camden, New York. Nice to see you. Alan Gove is from Enfield, New Hampshire. Great to see you. Joe Tello is here. Just messaging with him earlier today. Nice to see you, Joe. He's viewing from Hyannis, Massachusetts. Steve Dickinson, our good friend, says, hello, Mike. Sounds good. Appreciate that. Rob Jardine is here from Napanee, Ontario. Great to see you. Tim Bewick is here from Marlborough, New York. Great to see you. Dave Lowry is here saying hello from Alberta. Outstanding. Our good friend Armand Buteau is here. Greetings from very snowy Pittsburg, New Hampshire. He says, we sound good tonight, and we're going to be talking about Pittsburg, New Hampshire most of the evening tonight. Mark Radai is here saying, sounding good, hearing you loud and clear from Northeast Ohio. Excellent. Midnight Rider is here. Greetings to all. Looking forward to another informative podcast. Andrew Strako says, good evening to everyone watching watching the Daytona 500 race, possibly, while we're doing this. That's cool. Our good friend Carolyn Eastman is here saying hello, cold in Roseau, Minnesota. Now, Carolyn Eastman, by the way, is Bob Eastman's wife. very cool to have her here. And we're working on doing a podcast episode with her in the not too distant future. And in March, the third Sunday in March, we're doing one with Bob Eastman's granddaughter. And she was helping to coordinate with, I'm drawing a blank. But anyway, she was helping us to coordinate with some footage from the museum in Roseau. And we thank you very much for that. Rob Grover is here, and I apologize before. I was having a senior moment, which happens more often than I'd like these days. Rob Grover says hello from Grand Rapids, Minnesota, regular viewer. Great to see you. Ivan Mayo is here from Sudbury, Ontario. And these are just coming in hot and heavy. We're glad to see that, but I'm going to bring our friends on so we don't do the whole hour doing comments. But gentlemen, how are we doing tonight?
Doing great, Mike.
Excellent. Nice to see you.
Hi, Ray.
Hey, Midge. Good to see you guys.
Likewise, for sure. So if you're a regular viewer of the podcast, Ray Lacasse and Midge Rosebrook are very familiar faces to you, as well they should be. Ray is here tonight. He's got an upcoming event that he's trying to promote. So we'll clear the floor here and let him tell us all about that. And while he's doing that, I'll pop comments on the screen.
Yep. So March 8th, Pittsburg, New Hampshire, we have our 5th annual Great Northwoods Vintage Snowmobile ride. The last 5 years, the first year we had, pretty decent snow, and it's been a little thin the last few years. Last year we had to cancel, but this year we're buried, and we're getting more and more snow. Looks like we're going to have a great event. The weather's staying cold. Snow's not going anywhere. It's going to be from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on March 8th. We're raffling off a 1970 Skidoo Olympic 335. It's in very, very good shape. Tickets, if you want to purchase tickets, you can reach out to me my on Facebook, or you could call me at 603-387-0318, which I believe he has my number on that. That sled is a beautiful shape. It has the original cover, original owner's manual, original toolkit. It's sitting at Lemieux's garage in Colebrook right now. Tickets are going fast on this thing. I'm excited to see this thing go to a good home. If anybody is looking, for information on the ride or this sled, please feel free to reach out to me.
Yes, and then I've got a graphic here for the event itself.
Yep. Yeah, and also with the event, and all the proceeds to this, it's a free ride. It's you do not have to register. We're permitted through the state as long as you stay on the marked trails. There's going to be approximately 25 miles of trails in Pittsburg. Midge has been there before up in Pittsburg. We have some outstanding trails, one of the top destinations in North America, meticulously groomed, and typically a lot of snow like this year. We haven't had any big storms, but typical flurries every day. You wake up to 3 or 4 inches of fresh snow every day. We are doing a cookout, which is free, donations only. Again, all the proceeds are going to go to the Pittsburgh Firemen's Association. It's a great cause. They do a lot for the community. They help out a lot of folks in need.
That's a great cause for sure. And then to further whet people's appetite, we do have clips from the rides you've had in previous years. So let me load up one of these clips here, and we'll take a look at that, and then we'll react to it on the other side. It's just taking a moment here for my computer to catch up with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just taking a moment for the computer to catch up with me. This is where we need some Jeopardy music.
Yeah, I'd sing, but I don't think that would do the podcast any good.
Same here. My singing voice is horrible. So that leaves you, Midge. It's all on you.
My dad used to be able to sing. He played the guitar, but it didn't rub off on me for sure.
Nice. Well, I do have that clip now. Let me click it here and we'll get it started. Yeah, if you're just joining us, we're looking at a video clip from a vintage ride that they do in Pittsburg, New Hampshire. This is from a couple of seasons ago, but it's an excellent ride. Looking like the conditions are going to be excellent this year. March 8th. I'm going to pop the graphic on the screen, and I'm glad more comments are coming in. Please feel free to react to these video clips we're looking at, or pose questions to us if you need to. Any reactions to what we've been looking at, what we were just looking at on the screen?
Well, for me, I tell you, that was our first ride, and it turned out to be a good one. We had Midge was there. I think that's Midge right on the
Midge
screen
right
right there as we speak. And there was I think close to 175 sleds for that first ride, and it was a great day. To me, the most spectacular part, it was seeing the old sleds. But when we had the cookout, Midge can probably attest to this. The stories that went around about, when they were kids and their parents took them here and there and they did cookouts or went to this ride in. I mean, it was just, the stories is what was priceless.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Reliving those glory days.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And glory days they were, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes.
Well, the glory days for me, I don't remember the trails being quite like that. The only time that I would ever be able to get on something that smooth was at the airstrip behind Timberland Machines.
Yep. Yep.
Back when we were kids. It's like riding on an interstate highway.
Yep. Yep. And, I'm fortunate. I have a lot of great people that help me. I'm in Budo, who I saw was on here earlier. He helps us a lot. Warren Chase in Pittsburgh, he helps us a lot. Reggie Parker and his wife Jackie, my wife Sylvia. Midge has come up for the shows and helped us with it. A gentleman that you talked about earlier, Bruce Worker, he's actually coming up. I just spoke to him on the phone tonight. He's coming up with his wife Joan. They're going to help me mark the trails before the ride and get stuff ready. A lot of people are so excited about this, and that's what makes it fun, is to see the excitement, in people and people that have never seen people that came to the first ride that didn't even know about it on their new sleds. And when they got off and they, you thought to God, they got dropped in a different century. It was just like a kid in a candy store when they saw this, and people coming up telling me, we're going to go out looking for sleds just to do this ride.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And then we've got plenty of comments that have come in here. There's a few questions in there. I'm going to rewind back to this, and Midge will be able to answer this question. I wanted to know what that sled was, Midge. I know there's a story behind that sled.
Yeah. That sled started out in life as a 1977 Polaris TX. But since I saw the Polaris team racing those PDCs over in Bangor, in 1974 and 1975, I fell in love with that style sled with the engine, sticking out of the hood. And one winter I was laid up with grave disease. I didn't know what it was until they diagnosed it, but I wasn't feeling very well. And I happened to be on the internet one day, and this guy pops up on the computer, and he had turned one of the TXs into a PDC, and somebody made reproduction cabs in belly pans exactly like the Snow Pro sleds. So I had Mark Belanger turn my sled into a 1975 PDC. It's a 440. And he put a Bob Eastman seat on it from Conrad Van. Made these racing seats. It's called a Bob Eastman seat because I had to have a Bob Eastman seat.
Of course.
And so yeah,
Very cool.
That was good. And I think this was the first year I rode shotgun all day behind Ray. Ray's got an identical Polaris 440. It's a stock 440, 1976 440, in an excellent shape. It looks like brand new. And yeah, we had fun that day.
Nice.
Great time.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Now, Rob is our regular co-host. Rob, he's been out for a few weeks. He's recovering from some surgery. He's doing well, but it's just taken a while. He's watching though, making comments. He's wanting to know if we have snow. He said they got a foot yesterday, and we probably got 6 to 8 today. How about Midge and Ray?
Well, we got, from what I understand, again, I'm not in Pittsburgh right now. I'm on vacation in Maine. Just talked to somebody. We got about 8 inches of snow today. And this weekend, we're expecting another 1.5 to 2 feet. We're running in totals in town of probably 6 feet of snow right now.
Wow.
And out of town, we're probably up around the 10-foot range. So we're getting a typical Pittsburgh winter. These are the only storms we've really got, but we just wake up to 2 or 3, 4 inches of snow every single day.
Yeah.
It's just piling up fast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And in Lancaster?
I'd say Lancaster's got about 18 inches of snow. We might have picked up 3 inches today. They expect 8 to 14 more inches of snow Saturday night and Sunday.
Wow.
So we'll see what happens. But there's certainly enough snow in Lancaster right now to ride on the trails.
Nice. And then we had another cool comment to come in. Our good friend Bruce Swerka says, "Looks like I've got a ride for this event." He said, "I'm going in the ski booth again. He's going to take me on the whole ride." So I will graciously accept your offer, my friend. I'm looking forward to that. Cool deal. So let me remove this graphic because we've got a ton of stuff to look at tonight. We are just getting started, just getting warmed up. The next clip is going to be from another event that Ray organizes. He does a fall show also in Pittsburg, New Hampshire. Do you want to set this clip up real quick?
Sure. So this is a vintage show that we do in September. Beautiful Pittsburg, New Hampshire. Again, it's perfect timing because the foliage and stuff is usually absolutely stunning at that time of year. It's not a huge show. It's growing. We had mini bikes. Gary Shaffey from the southern part of the state had reached out to me 2 years ago about bringing mini bikes up, and he brought his up, and then we had another woman from Arrow brought hers over, and oh my God, it's
Beautiful.
a hit, and yeah, absolutely beautiful, and the snowmobiles, absolutely beautiful. We're working on doing more classes next year. I'm still new at this. I hope everybody realizes that with these shows, and we're trying to make this better and better every year. More classes and try to draw more people up here. But it's a great event, and everybody, again, it's like a big family. And that's what's really drawn, these events to me and wanting to organize these. And again, I've got a lot of help from people up here that help me with this and a great community. So it's a lot of fun.
Nice. And also to your point about it being a smaller show, that's definitely not a negative. It's more intimate. And the good thing is the sleds that show up are very high quality.
Yes.
They were.
So
They were.
excellent show in that respect.
Yeah.
And rather than us keep talking about it, let's take a look at the video clip. This is some of your drone footage from that day, this past September.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's no music under this, so if you want to make comments on anything, feel free to. In fact, there's Bruce Swerka's ski-doo with his ski boots.
I was just going to say, there's your ride right there.
That's it. My ride awaits. My chariot awaits. And that's Mark Belanger's racing ski-doo there.
Yeah.
That won the best of show at Boonville, or not Boonville, where was it? Old Forge, I guess, a couple of years ago.
Yes. And then right there in the middle of the screen in the dark jacket, that's me talking to Steve Dickinson.
Yeah, with his Arctic Cat.
Yeah.
Yes. And he just barely sold me that vintage Arctic Cat jacket that I've got on. It was on that table, but it's not on that table anymore. It's in my house now.
There you go. There's the Hampshire Snowmobile Museum right there with Bud Gordon, their raffle sled.
Yes. And Bud Gordon's one of the top promoters in the Northeast for sure, as far as vintage shows, events, races.
He's a great help to us too.
Yeah.
Nice. Great guy. Absolutely. And there's some of the mini bikes. Those are
Absolutely.
Gary Chaffee's mini bikes.
Yep. My wife and Jackie Parker and our helpers there helping us out, and the Pittsburg Ridge Runners.
And there's the other mini bikes that were there. I'm
Yep.
trying to remember her name. Do you remember her name?
I think it was Kim Thompson, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. Yes.
She's got, from what I understand, 88 bikes in her barn.
Gee whiz.
Yep.
That is impressive.
They were
And each of
beauties.
those, each one was impeccable too.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Both of those mini bike collections were absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's plenty of parking there, plenty of room for everybody.
Yeah.
Good food,
Yes.
burgers
Yep.
and dogs, things like that. And, yeah.
Beautiful Murphy Dam.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the end of that video clip. We've got comments that have come in. Let me find my place here. Okay, here we go. Talking about the previous video clip. What a nice long parade of sleds. Is it me or were they all going at a pretty good clip? They were, but I also sped it up a little bit. But they were moving right along for sure. Now, Mark Redeye says, I don't think I saw one yellow sled in that video clip, talking about the previous clip. Midnight Rider says, Rob Hilditch, sweet, commenting on getting the foot of snow. Ned says, hello on a windy night in Albany County, New York. Nice to see you. And Bruce Swerka says you're on. He's talking about me accepting my ride in the ski booth. Absolutely. I love it. Oh, God. Let's see. Steve Woodward says, Western New York has rideable snow now. Outstanding. And then Ben from Vintage Mini Bike Lovers says, hope Mike and I can collaborate with you, Ray, on the mini bikes. I know the timing of the show is tough because of local commitments he has in his area, but he said,
Yep.
let's talk.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And please feel free to give him my information, Mike, if he wants to reach out to me.
Yes, I will, for sure.
Yep.
For sure. And the cool thing is, while I was there, I took I did an interview with both owners of those mini bike collections.
Yeah.
And those interviews have appeared on the Mini Bike Podcast.
Good.
So we would definitely like to do a deeper dive on that at some point.
Yep.
And Mike Whiteside says the snow looks just like our snow in Illinois. And then Rob Hilditch says vintage mini bikes and snowmobiles go together. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Rob is part of that Mini Bike Podcast as well. Rob's our co-host. Cool deal. So let me remove this. We've got more to look at. Oh, if my voice holds up. I'm going to make a couple of quick announcements. Now, I've got a good friend since we were kids. Here's a look at us in high school. We thought we were going to be the next Van Halen, which of course never happened. But that's him on the left, Dan. I always called him DJ. Daniel James is his name, and that was me on the drums. But anyway, here's an image of him as an adult. We've been lifelong friends, and he's going through a difficult time right now. He's a veteran. He was injured in a workplace accident, and he's having some health issues, and he's having some trouble with the workman's comp. It's been interrupted, and they're trying to work that out. But in the meantime, of course, the bills don't stop. So he is struggling financially, and one of the things I like to do with this podcast is try to help people as I can in whatever way that I can. So I'm trying to help a good friend here. He and I did some snowmobiling when we were teenagers as well. So there's a snowmobile tie-in with that. But there's a link in the description for his GoFundMe. So any amount will be graciously accepted to help him with the situation because, as we said, the income flow has stopped, but the bills have not, and it's getting pretty scary. So anything that we can do to try to help him, there's a link for GoFundMe in the description. We would graciously and very much appreciate your help to support an old friend who used to do some snowmobiling. And of course, we never did become rock stars, so we don't have that vast amount of wealth to fall back on. So you understand. But a quick comment about this picture. This is from the yearbook, our senior year. he and I had been playing drums and guitar together for a couple of years prior to this senior year, but they had this class called the Music Workshop. It was a self-directed study. And we jumped right onto that. We saw it as our rock and roll boot camp. And our self-directed study was just us to play music together. And the music teacher would give us suggestions and feedback. And she was very supportive. And it was an excellent growth. What am I trying to say? An amazing growth opportunity for both of us to grow in our skills individually as musicians and also as playing together as musicians. So just wonderful memories of that. That was in 1981, 82 right there, seniors in high school. But anyway, yeah, anything you can do to help him with his GoFundMe. He's in a serious crunch right now.
Okay.
But let's continue with what we've got here. We've got a clip now from February 1st. They had the Crane Vintage Snowmobile show in Lancaster, New Hampshire. Always an excellent show, and I've got a video clip from that. Let's roll that and take a look.
Brandon Emerson from Williamstown, Vermont, and these are my sleds. First we have my son's 1972 Kitty Cat. He's 3 years old. I restored it myself, and he rides it. Next is the 67 Polaris Colt with Town and Country exhaust. The next one's a 71 TX Charger 300. And then the last one we have is a 1966 Polaris Mustang, which actually is one of my favorite sleds. You know, I have 14 more snow machines at home, but you can't bring them all at once. So you got to pick and choose what you can bring to each show.
Very cool. Well, cool. I appreciate it. It was great to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
My name is Mark Bristol. We're at Crane Snowmobile Show in Lancaster. This here's my 650 Thunderjet, 1973. We kind of got a love and hate relationship with this thing. When we found it, we only had the tunnel and the skid. Was all we had, and it was in the woods in New Hampshire, northern New Hampshire. So we noticed it had the tag number, and we actually traced the tag. Eagle River in 73. It raced at Eagle River in 1973. So then we decided we had to restore it by Sun and on. So that's what we did. All the gold has been powder coated. Skis have been powder coated. The pipes have been powder coated. Anything that could be this metal has been powder coated. And it took about 2.5 years. And actually, that was finding parts. So when you go to do a Thunderjet, there's this network of people that are there to help you out. I mean, skis come from Manitoba. The seat comes from New York. The engine came from Washington State. Jason Palmer actually built that engine. And we had a lot of help with it. I mean, Ken Day, Bud Gordon, Scott Stoll, Rich Kepler, Blake Reed. Actually, Blake Reed got the skis for me. But that's about it. So it took about 2.5 years, and
Well, it paid off because it sure looks amazing.
Put a $100 raffle on that.
And that's one of those sleds that's sexy from every angle.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, very nice, Mark. Well, thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.
Cool deal.
So yeah, just a quick shout out to our good friend Mark Bristol. I believe he's a good friend to all three of us. He has a powder coating business in St. Johnsbury, Vermont, and he's a vintage collector, restorer. He's all about the vintage sleds. So if you have vintage snowmobile parts that need powder coating, he's your guy. You can send it to him and he can ship it back to you, and you can have that conversation on the phone as far as exactly what you're looking for. He's your powder coating guy. Please patronize him, and if you do, please mention that you saw it here on the podcast. Greatly appreciate that. Gentlemen, anything catch your eye as we were looking at this?
Just I know Mark very well, and he's done some great job on some sleds. Great friend. I've known Mark for a long, long time.
Yeah, that got People's Choice.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
That got People's Choice at the show.
Good for him.
It was a fantastic restoration from the tail fin to the tip of the ski.
Yeah.
Good for him.
It was you couldn't do any better than that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And there was some stiff competition there for that as well.
Yeah.
So for him to get People's Choice, that was a real accomplishment.
And those Polarises were really nice too that you had
Yes.
on a little bit.
They were
before
beautiful. Yeah.
They were really nice.
In fact, those are Brendan's sleds. Let me see if I can find those. There's Brendan right there. Yeah,
That's Polaris right there that you see. That's the first year that Dick sold Polaris.
Wow, yeah.
67.
Nice. And I'm working with Brendan to try to bring him on the podcast for some live show and tell of his collection, because he's got even more than that at home for us to look at. So someday soon, we're going to have a nice up-close personal look at his collection.
That's awesome, Mike. It's nice that you do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. We love it. That's my favorite part
great.
is the live show and tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to, I love this guy right here. Whoop, I'm trying to find, he's right. That was amazing watching that.
Yeah.
It's like right, a blast into yesteryear, you know?
That's awesome.
That's what it's all
Just
about.
about every sled that was there was in running condition.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, Mike?
It was.
Even those rear engine Polarises, they were running those things around.
That's great.
And they had an Eliason motor toboggan, and that guy was running it around. Yeah.
That's the fun part, seeing them run. Not just seeing them sitting there, but seeing them run.
Yeah.
I know Anthony Young had restored my TX and did an absolutely beautiful job on it. And of course, everybody thinks you're just going to put it up on crates and show it. And when I told him I was going to run it, he was so happy. You know, it's like, I got to put this on the trail. I got to ride it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, and here we go. Where did I see? Here we go. Ned is saying this is can you picture this, an all alpine vintage snowmobile ride?
Yeah.
That would be something to see.
Yeah.
For sure. And then Darcy was saying, nice to see more vintage rides in Wisconsin. So I'm going to put that out there. So if anyone knows of any vintage rides happening in Wisconsin, please share here in the comments. Because I know they've got a lot of vintage snowmobile shows out there, but she may have a point there. Maybe there's not as many vintage rides as we have here in the East. But let's see what else we've got here. We're just getting warmed up here. We've got there was another vintage snowmobile show I went to January 25th in Newport Center, Vermont. This is put on by the Tatro family and the local Newport Center Snowmobile Club. Let's take a look at some footage I got that day.
You feel like talking that up on the camera?
Red Star. This is a 1974 Yamaha GPX 433. Got it about 2 years ago. Needed some work. It was kind of rusty on the tunnel and stuff, and the skis were kind of rough, so I painted those up, and there were some dents and things in the hood, and we fixed that up. So now she's this is actually kind of in showroom condition.
Yeah. Very nice. I'm going to take a quick walk around it. And yeah. Little trip down memory lane.
And I believe it's to get them away from
Very nice. Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you have other sleds here too? Or?
And this one was pretty much as you see it. I mean, they've got a little bit more work to do on it, but it's in pretty good shape. It had been stored for several years. It was covered up with a kind of a tarp in a guy's garage. So he had this one, and he had a I think it was a 78 or 340 exciter, but I like the black. I like the black color, so I ended up buying this one. In pretty good shape. Runs good. Low miles on it. I think you can only get like 2,200 miles on it.
2,200, you say?
2,200.
Very nice. Yeah, very nice, Greg. Yes, please. Excellent. Well, thank you, Greg. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Looking at footage from the Newport Center Vintage Snowmobile show that happened on January 25th. That was their 4th annual, and that show just gets better every year. Please put it on your calendar. I think it's the last Saturday in January every year. Definitely worth a look.
That's cool.
Yeah.
For
I want
sure.
to see somebody pick up a modern sled with a one hand and throttle it and clear the track out.
Yeah, just like that. I'd be really impressed if someone could pull that off.
I can't pick the back end up with two hands on the new ones.
No. So I'm going to take this graphic away. And if you're just joining us, we're here with Ray Lacasse and our good friend Midge Rosebrook. Now, Ray is here because he's got a vintage snowmobile ride that he's promoting. And it's a chance to discuss that again. Ray, you want to recap that real quick?
Yeah, I can. It's going to be our 5th annual ride. It's called the Great Northwoods Vintage Snowmobile Ride in Pittsburg, New Hampshire. It's going to be March 8th from 9 to 3 o'clock. We're permitted through the state, so you do not have to register as long as you stay on the marked trails. You do not need to register your sleds. It's a free event. We take donations. All the proceeds are going towards the Pittsburg Firemen's Association. It's a great cause. They help out a lot of people if they need help. So we do everything we can to give back to the community. There's going to be a cookout. Again, that's free. Donations only, hamburgers and hot dogs. Just a great time, great event. Pittsburg, New Hampshire, we've got some great trails. Midge can attest to it. He's been up with me. Some nice, wide, flat trails. Be good for the vintage ride. Hopefully we have great weather, but right now we've got more snow coming. It's going to stay cold. So it looks like we're going to have a great event.
Yeah, prospects are looking good for that. And then we've got another graphic here.
Yes, and that's the raffle sled that we're raffling off that day. It's going to be raffled off at 2 o'clock, right after we do the cookout. It's a 1970 Olympic 335 single cylinder. We have the original cover that goes with this. We have the original owner's manual. We have the original tool kit. Sled is in great shape. It runs great. Right now it can be seen at Lemieux's Garage. They're a Skidoo dealer right in Colebrook, New Hampshire. It's kind of cool to see that thing sitting beside the modern sleds. They're getting a lot of people that are coming in looking at it. So come on in, check this out. And my phone number, I believe, is on there, 603-387-0318. If anybody wants to buy tickets, they're $1, $10 for one ticket and 3 tickets for $20. Feel free to reach out to me.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you for that. And then that's actually a perfect segue. We've got a video clip from one of those rides a couple of years ago. Yeah, this is the one where you got buried with snow.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at that.
Yeah. You want to get them? All right. Yeah. Yep. As soon as they sell, we're going to call the winner. Ray's waiting so you can take it home.
That's a 120. The one behind is the knee.
Okay, give me a thumbs up.
Right.
Oh, actually, hold on.
Yeah, so we've been looking at some footage at a vintage snowmobile ride that happens in Pittsburg, New Hampshire every year, and the gentleman who organizes that is on the left center of your screen there. That just looks like a whole lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. That was another year. It was in a strip of years that we didn't have a lot of snow. We thought we were going to have to cancel that ride, and then we got 1.5 feet of wet, heavy snow the night before and during that day. It was incredible. And I just want to reach out. I saw some comments on people that want tickets. Please give me a call. And I don't know if there's any way you could put my address and stuff up there, Mike. I could give that to you to put up there. But if you can't, they can call me and then mail a check to me. And I would get the ticket stubs out to them or take a picture and send it back to them, however they want to do it. Tickets will be available that day too. If they come out for the ride, I just saw Reese Fleury, who's another, I think he watches a lot of these podcasts. I see him a lot of times on Facebook. He reached out, wants tickets. I think he just messaged me on Messenger, so I'll be able to get back to him. Anybody wants them, please give me a call. And I will give you my address to send the tickets to, and we'll get everything ready for you.
Excellent. Yeah, his number is right there on the lower right-hand side of the screen. Please do give him a call. It's a very worthy cause, and you could end up winning this very sled here. Absolutely. Well, cool. Let me get our next video clip lined up. Now, if you watched us in January, it might have been January 9th, we had Morris and Renee Bailing on here looking at their collection of Polarises, beautiful Polarises in the state of Wisconsin. And those sleds are all for sale, as it turns out. We had a little bit of difficulty with the connection, but his wife was kind enough to take a video for me and send it to me. We're going to play a clip, and then at the end, I'll pop his information on the screen. So if you're curious about purchasing any of these sleds, there's a way to get a hold of him. And again, these sleds are out of Wisconsin. Let's take a look. There we go. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button there for a second. But yeah, those are Morris and Renee Bailing's Polarises. I know that both Ray and Midge are Polaris guys.
My sweat is wet.
Yeah.
Rolling.
Yeah, I tell you, just looking at that video and not just the sleds, but to see the trophies, the garage, all the Polaris memorabilia. I mean, it's just great that that's all preserved there. It's that's what's priceless, and that really, kudos to them. Kudos.
It's true. It's
Ray can tell you, pharmacist in Lancaster, guy whose name was Paul Ronish, he bought a leftover 800 Starfire, a 72 Starfire, for a trail sled.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tune pipes, the whole thing, man. He's out on the trail riding that thing. You couldn't get away with that today.
No, and I'll tell you, it was so much fun, and I grew up. Midge was kind of my hero. He's a guy that worked on my sled. I bought the sled from him that I raced. It was a 77 TX 250. Midge is just a great guy with working on the clutches and carburetors, and that little 250. We dusted a lot of people with that little sled. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, I promised I was going to pop a graphic on the screen with contact information. So if anyone is curious about purchasing any of those Polarises we were just looking at, this is the way to do it. Contact Morris Bailing. His number's on the screen there, and he's based out of Wisconsin.
Beautiful collection.
Beautiful.
Yes, and those are all for sale.
Yeah, I had a PDC there too, a Snow Pro.
Looks like he might have had a T. Did he have a TXL in that collection?
Oh, I don't know. Let me.
Maybe.
It looked like he might have.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. I guess.
Right. No, back in that same clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been, right in here maybe.
That next one right there. I can't quite tell if that's a TXL or not.
No.
Hard to tell.
No, looks like it might be a free air.
Both TXs,
Yeah.
Good call, though.
Yeah.
That was such a great era.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, they had the style back then,
They did. I just and today I look at that sled and it's like, man, why couldn't they be made like this now?
Well, all the sleds today, they all look the same.
Yeah.
It's like cars today.
Yep.
You can't tell a Chevrolet from a Ford, from a
Nope.
Dodge, from a Toyota.
You can't. They were unique back then. And, there was some pretty cool sleds back in that mid-70 range. The TXs, the RVs, the El Tigres. There were a lot of cool sleds. And that's what, I like to see them all.
You can tell which brand it was.
Absolutely. You didn't have to sit there and walk up to it with a with your glasses and look at that.
No. If it was black, it was an Arctic Cat. If it was white and blue, it was a Polaris. If it was yellow, it was a Skidoo.
Yep, that's for sure.
If it was blue as a snow jet, orange motor ski.
Yes.
Yeah.
And back then, how many manufacturers of snowmobiles were there back then?
Easily 100
anyway.
Yeah. And now we're narrowing it down to possibly 2. I don't know.
No, it's awful. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah.
Now, I've got one last video clip to play, but before we do, I wanted to talk about some upcoming things that we're doing. Now, Midge and I, you probably got used to seeing us doing snowmobile history and memories every third Sunday of the month at 8 p.m. Now, we had a scheduling conflict, so we're going to do that the fourth Sunday, but it'll be worth the wait because we're going to be visiting with Claude Hebert, legendary racer, inducted into the Eastern Snowmobile Racing Hall of Fame. He used to be a factory racer for Motoski. He was also very involved with PR and research and development for Motoski. Then he switched over to Snowjet / Kawasaki, and I believe he was there from the transition from Snowjet to Kawasaki.
Yes, he was,
And he was also one of the primary people behind the Tournament of Champions Racing Series that Kawasaki used to do. So if you're curious about any of that or have questions about any of that, he's going to be on visiting with us on I think it's the 23rd. Let me look at the calendar. Yes, Sunday the 23rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're curious about all of that, you do not want to miss that. Also, third Sunday of March, let me look what that date is going to fall on, the 16th. March 16th, we're going to have Bob Eastman's granddaughter on, Amy Will. And she's been working with Mike Hatteen. Most of Bob's things are at the museum at Roseau, the Polaris Museum in Roseau. So she went over there, and the two of them, actually, the three of them also was, sorry, I'm late in the program here. I'm having a lot of senior moments. Bob Eastman's wife was there with them, and they got some video clips from the museum of a lot of Bob's things and history of Polaris history, Bob's history, just all of that. So third Sunday, the 16th of March, we're going to be looking at all of that and discussing that, and it'll be a chance for you to weigh in with questions, comments, things like that. And of course, this Sunday, since there was a scheduling conflict, I preloaded a video. It's going to be the, pardon me, it's going to be all of the video footage I got at the Crane show, February 1st, all in one video. So that's this coming Sunday at 8 p.m. We're reviewing this right now. That'll be available for you. So with that, and before I lose my voice, we've got one last video clip to look at. We've been talking about Bruce Swerka. We've been talking about his sled and his caboose, or ski booze. And that ski booze is my ride for Ray's vintage ride that they're doing in Pittsburg, New Hampshire. So let's take a look. This is from the Pittsburg show. We're killing quite a few birds with one stone here. We're going to look at Bruce Swerka's sleds at Ray's Pittsburg show this past September. Let's take a look.
Good morning. My name is Bruce Swerka. My wife, Joan Swerka, is with me. We have our collection of vintage material. We have a 1969 caboose, totally restored 3-4 years ago. Took the whole thing apart, redid the entire thing to tow it. I have a 1970 original TNT 399 that's all original, unrestored, haven't even painted the skis yet. Next to that is our red 1991 Formula Plus, all original. And then last year my wife and I were at a show and she wanted a girl sled because we have 5 granddaughters, so we bought that Lynx. It was in pretty rough shape and we took it home, and last winter we restored it in our garage with our granddaughters and our grandsons, and now they ride it around when we can. So that's her sled to show at the show. So that's our collection of them, and that's where we are so far. Came up from Connecticut and enjoying our day.
Cool. I'm going to come around for some other shots of this. Sure. I remember when these came out, that they positioned this as like a value sled.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they sold a lot of them. It was a good value for the money too.
It still runs like a champ.
Wow.
I did nothing to the motor. I just cleaned it up. Well, the clutch needed to get done. I did redid the clutch on it. So, yeah.
Not bad for 45 years.
Not bad for 45 years, right? No.
Very nice. And do you have any stories about these as far as fun riding stories or history? Like
both of the skidoos, I went to purchase that one, and some gentleman drove up while we were there and said, "Hey, my dad gave me one years ago. It's in front of my garage. Would you please come look at it and take it?" And I looked at it and took it.
Nice. This red one here.
It's got
this Formula.
Yeah, it's got 1,001 original miles on it. When I bought it, it had 984. So,
wow.
And I just cleaned it all up, got it running. You know, needed the regular stuff, but it's all original. So
that's amazing.
And then we ride around our home when we are, and then we go to vintage rides. When we come up here, we'll go, during the winter too, vintage rides. But they're all riders. They're all drivers and riders.
Nice.
So they all run.
And this one, did you have memories of these back in the day? Is that what caught your eye about this one originally?
Actually, I rode Rups in the beginning, but then I had the Skidoo, and we have Skidoos now, so I need to send it to tow the Skidoos that look similar, so we went with Skidoos. We're Skidoo people now.
Nice.
And the wife and I ride the touring together. We ride up to 2 up now.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, you definitely get a theme going here. That is really nice.
Thanks. Now you're going to put.
So yeah, good times at the Pittsburg, New Hampshire Vintage Snowmobile show this past September. And since we're about to close the program, one last chance for for Ray. Thinking about your uncle, Ray.
Yeah, there you go. That's how we know each other, Mike.
That's right, Bud Lacasse.
Yeah.
But last chance to do a quick blurb on the upcoming show.
March 8th, Pittsburg, New Hampshire. Great Northwoods Vintage Snowmobile ride. Come up and see the beautiful scenery in Pittsburgh. Enjoy these trails. We have so many people from all over the country, people coming from Michigan and all over the place. New York coming up here to ride these trails. when they've got plenty of snow. We got something going on up here, and it's a great event, and it's for a great cause. And it's just so much fun to see all these old snowmobiles. Please feel free. My phone number is on there to reach out to me for any questions on this. You do not have to register your sleds. This is open for anybody to come and enjoy. Free cookout, donations only. All the money's going towards the Pittsburgh Firemen's Association. And again, the raffle sled, it's a 1970 Olympic 335. It's in great shape. It's really, really in great shape. Reach out to me for the tickets. You can either, if you're friends with me on Facebook, private message me, or give me a phone call. If I don't answer, leave a message. I will call you back. We'll get tickets to you and go from there.
Absolutely. And if you're searching for him on Facebook, his name is right there on the bottom of the screen. That's what you're searching for. And we've got a few comments that have come in here. Mad Dog says, a great night of vintage talk. The hour goes by fast. Yes, it does. And thank you for viewing. Our dear friend Rob Hilditch, hope to have you back in the saddle next week with any luck at all. And if not, we totally understand, but we appreciate that you're viewing with us tonight and hanging out with us. Our good friend Eric at the Benedim YouTube channel is here tonight. His YouTube channel is one of the places this podcast goes out to you. Jim Holbrook says, Midge, you have done a great job filling in for Rob. Yes, he has.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. And Rich Shad says, another awesome show. Have a good night, guys. Jim Wesner says, great show. Thank you for all the history. Stacy and Art Fosler say, great show. Outstanding. Well, thank you so much to the viewers, to Ray and to Midge, to everybody, and even to Uncle Bud.
Yes, Uncle Bud. He's up there watching us.
He was a wonderful man.
That's right.
Yes.
Absolutely. I knew Ray's Uncle Bud back in the 70s. We used to be CB buddies.
Yep.
Cool deal. This small world. Oh, one more.
It is.
Brandon Emerson says the Rutland, Vermont show is on Saturday. Yes, if you're in the area, please check that out. And Brandon is the one that had those Polarises at the Crane show.
Yep.
And we're working on getting him on here one night for some live show and tell of his collection. So with that, thank you so much for everyone. It's been a quick, wonderful hour. And as always, we give the last word to Amsoil. And have a great evening, everyone. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thanks, Mike.
Hello, everyone. This is Rob and Mike. How you doing today, Rob?
I'm doing good. Mike, yourself?
Very well. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Now, today, we're going to be talking about Amsoil. And in a few moments, we're going to show you how you can get the deepest discounts, free shipping, and free gifts when you order your Amsoil products through us. But first, I'm going to ask Rob to give you a quick description of what Amsoil is and why you should consider using Amsoil products in your motorized vehicles.
Thanks, Mike. Amsoil is 100% synthetic oil. Everybody uses Amsoil for a different reason. Some people like the benefits that Amsoil is warranted for 25,000 miles or 1 year. The reason we can do that is because Amsoil doesn't oxidize. It doesn't form the usual carbons, gums, sludges like petroleum oils do. That's why we can keep it in the engines longer. Petroleum oils never do wear out. They oxidize themselves. That's why they have to be changed at 3,000 kilometers. And Amsoil likes the benefit that you only have to change the oil once a year. That saves some money. Some of the people like the benefit of Amsoil is it's a slipperier type lube. By having a slipperier type lube, it cuts down friction and drag. By less friction and drag, engines run 20 to 50 degrees cooler, better gas mileage. Now, Amsoil says 25% more protection than the industry requires is in the Amsoil bottles. My average customer gets about 10% increase in gas mileage. That's a big savings.
Yeah.
And by cutting down friction and drag, for every 10 degrees you cut down the friction and drag, doubles the life of the engine. So by having the engine run cooler, it makes it last longer. Some people like the benefit of the range of the Amsoil. Amsoil's flash point is 425 degrees, and it pours at 50 below zero. Wow. If you ever tried petroleum oil when it's 10 below, it turns to honey. And in the summertime, petroleum oil thins out, and once it thins out, that's when it starts breaking down. So Amsoil is an all-season oil, can give you better gas mileage, longer engine life, less maintenance. It ends up being cheaper over a year's time running Amsoil than it is petroleum oils.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Amsoil is available for pretty much any motorized vehicle, anything from lawn equipment, cars, trucks, boats, ATVs, motorcycles, snowmobiles.
Yep. And a lot of people phone me up and say, well, what's the benefit of our gear lube? Exactly what I told you about the engine oil. It pours in cold weather. It runs cooler, makes the equipment last longer. And they say, well, what's the benefit of the small engine? Same thing. Makes the engine run cooler, last longer, better performance. So it saves on all the applications that Amsoil has available.
Wonderful, wonderful. So yeah, let's talk now. Hopefully, this has convinced people to think about maybe joining us in the AMSOIL experience. Let's talk about some of the discounts and free shipping and how that all happens. I'm going to pop a graphic on the screen, and yeah, by all means, if you want to talk people through how this preferred customer program works.
AMSOIL has a number of different programs. One of our main ones is a catalog customer, where somebody can order directly out of our catalog. If they order out of the catalog, they order $100 worth, AMSOIL will ship it right to their house. But our best program is our preferred customer. For only $10 for 6 months, you become a preferred customer. You save 25% on all the product. You order $100 worth, they're going to give you free shipping. You don't have to order a whole case. You can mix and match. Say you want 4 bottles of small engine, 7 bottles of 5W30, and a couple of gear loops. You can mix and match. You can order 1 bottle at a time if you want. There's no minimums, no maximums. By being a preferred customer, you save over 25% on all the products you're going to buy. AMSOIL sends you extra gifts, a $5 gift certificate on your birthday, $5 when you renew your account, and stuff like that. So it's a good way to save on some of the products you want to buy.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, it's an incredible value, and this is the deepest level of discount that anyone can get when ordering AMSOIL. Is that correct?
It is. It is.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's take people through the step-by-step experience of placing an AMSOIL order. Then that would include signing up for the preferred customer discount, or sorry, preferred customer program, so they can receive those deepest levels of discount. So let's go to the website. This is what the website's going to look like. These are some screenshots. Once you go to amsoil.com, there's a link in the description, or you can just type that into a browser, amsoil.com. This is the page you land on. At the upper corner of the page there, you see how I've circled in red. That is the link to click, the Join Now link. That will take you to the preferred customer program page, where you can take advantage of all these discounts and free shipping and everything that we've just been talking about. This is what that page looks like. In the lower right, you're going to click Join Now. This will pop up. You select the duration you'd like, whether it's 6 months or 12 months, and click Add to Cart. Now, once this pop-up goes away, you'll be back on the main page. And the upper left, you'll see where I've got that red arrow. It says Shop. Now you can start shopping for products, and on your very first order, you're going to get these discounts and the free shipping as long as it's over $100. You'll get all of these benefits right away. So once you click Shop, it's going to take you to the product page. There's different types of oils, lubricants, so on and so forth. For the benefit of this exercise we're doing now, I'm just going to click motor oil. It shows different types of motor oil. Let's click gasoline. Now this takes us to an item. It's their synthetic motor oil. And you can see the item there, and there's choices for different viscosities. But take a look at the price. Let's take a closer look. Let's zoom in. But if you've joined the preferred customer program first, you're going to automatically get the deepest levels of discount. That's what we're looking at here. You're saving $3.80 on that quart of oil. Instead of paying $16.29, you're now paying $12.49 for that quart of oil. That is the deepest level of discount you can possibly get. And then you just add the quantity that you'd like. You select any other items that you're thinking about, add them to the cart. And once you click Add to Cart for the final time, you're going to see this come up at the top of the screen. It's going to show your items and your the total that you're at so far. Pardon me. And then you just click View Cart in the upper right, and that'll take you to your cart. Take a close look here at the upper right. That blue box shows that you're getting free shipping. You're eligible for free shipping on this order because it's over $100. That little yellow box shows that you've got the preferred customer membership on your order that gives you the deepest levels of discounts for the next 6 to 12 months. And then below that, you've got the items that have been selected. For the exercise here, I selected 9 quarts of the signature series, but that brings us up over $100 for the free shipping. We're saving $34.20. And if you're ready to finish, you click Checkout Now, and that takes you to this screen here. If you haven't signed up with an AMSOIL account at this point, just click in the lower right to create an account, create a new account. It's going to ask you for some basic information, name, and those types of things. Now, let's take a closer look. You'll see this gray shaded box. This is a very important box. This is going to ask you if someone has referred you to AMSOIL. And if so, please enter my name. My name is Mike LaPierre. It's spelled right there on the screen for the correct spelling. And also the referral number, 304-555-94. That's how you make sure that Rob and I get credit for this. Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I have signed up for AMSOIL under Rob. So when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. So if you enjoy these podcasts that we're doing, this is a wonderful way to support the podcast, because when you order using this referral number, Rob and I both benefit. And the commissions I make go directly toward offsetting the cost of doing these podcasts. So I thank you in advance for that, for using my referral number. I very much appreciate it. And once you've done that, you just go into the next screen to enter your payment information, and you're done. Now, once you've placed your order that's over $100, and that order includes your AMSOIL preferred customer program, you are now eligible to get a free DVD from myself. Now, this is going to be either a muscle car DVD or a vintage snowmobile DVD. Use the email address on the screen, wkspodcasts@gmail.com. Send me an email. Let me know which DVD you would like me to send you, the muscle car or the vintage snowmobile DVD, and I'll get that right out to you. As you're typing in that email, in the subject line, be sure and type in capital letters free DVD requests, so it stands out as I'm checking my email, and we'll get that right out to you. So I guess the last thing, Rob, that we wanted to talk about is if someone is considering AMSOIL as a business opportunity.
Yes. If anybody has a retail or a commercial account and they would like to buy directly from AMSOIL, just send Mike a line. He'll show you how to set up, and you can buy directly from AMSOIL. But if you are interested in starting your own part-time business, a part-time business that can grow into a full-time income, Mike and I will show you the AMSOIL marketing plan. AMSOIL has a large selection of products that cover almost every application. So it doesn't matter if you're into snowmobile, boating, or ATVing or hot rods, we have an oil for every application. It's a fun type business that's I really enjoy doing. Where else can I go and have fun and make money doing it? And Mike and I are here to help you all the way along. If you need any help on how to promote or to find new accounts, we're here to help you.
For sure. So when you sign up under that number, this 304-555-94, you're getting Rob and I as a team. Now, Rob has been doing AMSOIL for 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. So he knows every aspect of this business, and he knows all of the ins and outs of the products. So he'll be able to help you with any kind of product questions or any kind of questions to show you the different business models that you can do with AMSOIL. And then the other thing that you get when you sign up under me is I've got a strong background in social media. So if you need some coaching on how to generate AMSOIL leads using Facebook and YouTube, I'm happy to coach you with that when you sign up under Rob and I. You get both of us as a team to help you, to coach you, to support you, whatever you need to get you off and running with this business and having fun with it. Like Rob said, it's an enormous amount of fun. If you're like Rob and I and you enjoy going to any kind of boat shows, car shows, motorcycle shows, snowmobile shows, anything with a motor, you like going to those shows, those events, those races, this is a great way to turn that into a income opportunity for you.
Yes. And just by wearing my AMSOIL hat at one of these events, people come up and ask me about AMSOIL. People don't know where to buy it, and I'm there to help them, show them where they can buy the product.
Perfect. Well, cool. Well, this is great. Any final thoughts, Rob, before we wrap it up?
AMSOIL's a fun business. AMSOIL's been around since 1968. It was the first synthetic oil to be AI approved.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. And that's very early in the game too, isn't it?
Yes.
For sure. Well, good. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for viewing. Hopefully, we've gotten you excited as we are about the AMSOIL products. We'd love it if you could join us either as someone who uses the AMSOIL products or to join the AMSOIL team as a business opportunity. And we thank you so much for viewing. Have a great day.
You have a good day.